Natural history of gratitude. Woo! For my purposes today, I'm using gratitude a little differently than the words gratefulness and thankfulness, and you'll see why as I develop the idea. Because I'm going to, for the moment, think of thankfulness or gratefulness as something that kind of sort of comes and goes, whereas gratitude is an attitude that can be cultivated. Thankfulness and gratefulness also can be cultivated, but gratitude rhymes with attitude. And so that can become like a worldview. So my first memory about learning about gratitude happened in elementary school. There was some kind of presentation being made by a teacher, or maybe we were in the auditorium, and the teachers used the expression, most of us take things for granted. And I'd never heard that expression before, and she explained that it meant that we just assumed that whatever we needed would be there whenever we needed it, and that we didn't necessarily feel a lot of appreciation for it. And I thought that was a really brilliant idea. Even though I was a young person, I just liked this idea of what it would mean to not take things for granted. To know that things get there, like she talked about our parents and teachers and our books and food. You know, they don't just arrive out of thin air. They get there through some process, and that we can be appreciative of that. So that was in elementary school. And then the next big hit of gratitude teaching came shortly after I gave birth to Toby and his twin brother Jordan, because during the pregnancy I totally lost my appetite for meat. I couldn't tolerate eating meat or chicken or fish. And I knew I needed to eat a lot of protein, so I signed up for a vegetarian cooking class, and it turned out that the vegetarian cooking class was in macrobiotic cooking, which is a very elaborate system of preparing food. And I learned to cook. It was very helpful. And then one day I went to a class that I thought was going to be on macrobiotic cooking, but it was on macrobiotics as a spiritual practice. And the teacher stood up and said, the most important thing you need to know about any spiritual practice is to cultivate gratitude. And I was very puzzled by what he said, because by that time I already knew about, prayer or mitzvot or these kinds of things, but I didn't understand how gratitude, I really couldn't comprehend how gratitude could be a spiritual practice. And it would take me a long time before I got a handle on that. Now the third addition to my learning came when, just recently, when I saw one of these email things going around that was I am thankful for, and it's a reframing, like for the married people among us or those who sleep with a partner. I am thankful for the partner who hogs the covers every night because he or she is not out with someone else. Or I am grateful for my child who is not cleaning her or his room but is watching TV because that means he is not out on the streets. Or, you get the idea, I'll give you one or two more. I am grateful for the lawn that needs mowing, the windows that need cleaning, and the gutters that need fixing because it means I have a home, right, a house. Or the parking spot that I couldn't find until I got to the end of the parking lot because it means I am healthy enough to walk. I'm not parked in the handicapped spot. Or the lady behind me in synagogue that sings off key because it means I can hear. This kind of reframing is an interesting thing to do. Like, something's really annoying, and how can I turn it into a gratitude? But I have to say that I like to complain. And I don't like to use this as a denial of what's annoying me. Because I think sometimes I need to say, this is annoying me, it's bothering me, what do I need to do about it to make it better? And also complaining sometimes helps me get to gratitude. Like I have to complain first in order to get it sort of out of my system, and then I can get to gratitude. But there is this possibility of reframing something that looks annoying into something that's positive. And finally, my current practice, which comes from mindfulness and awareness practices that are talked about in the Self, Soul, and Text class, where you notice the sensations that are in your body when you're having a particular feeling. So what is the sensations when I'm feeling gratitude? Well, so I'm feeling some gratitude now, and there's like a warmth, sort of like a tingling. sort of like an uplifting feeling in the cheeks, and maybe a kind of a sensation around the head. And so when I'm not in a state of gratitude, there are other sensations that are present in my body, and I recognize them. There's a weightedness, there's a heaviness, there's a collapse, those kinds of feelings. So, of course, cultivating gratitude is easy to do when things are going the way I like them to go, and harder to do when they're not going the way that I like them to do. So this practice of the body is a way to reflect back to me, to show me, to educate me about whether I'm in a space of gratitude or not. And if I'm not, I can maybe remember some of these things, taking for granted, reframing, knowing that it's a practice. It's not something that's always going to be present. So I wish all of you gratitude on this Thanksgiving Day, that it should grow and be something that you like experiencing. Thank you.
Thank you.